Tom Smith.
Renee, you need to say that again, you are way too soft.
Okay. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Tom Smith.
Okay. What was your reason of leaving Bethlehem Steel?
I beg your pardon?
What was your reason leaving Bethlehem Steel?
Retirement. I worked there 40 years.
Did you enjoy working there?
Oh, yes, very much
If so, can you describe your job?
Well, I had various jobs throughout the 40 years. I was in management, which means I was a salaried employee in charge of other people and directing them in what they did. And first I worked in the primary mill, which is where they roll the steel into slabs. And then I worked in the lube shop. I was in charge of the lube shop for 13 or 14 years. And then I went back to the primary mills and worked there as an assistant master mechanic. I was always in the mechanical department. The mechanical department was the department that was responsible for repairing the equipment. Depending on what department you were in, and the lube shop, we repaired lubricating systems, and in primary mills, we repaired the mills themselves, rolls and lube systems and everything that kept the mill running.
Looking back, would you trade your job at Bethlehem Steel for any other job? If so, what would it be?
Well, after I left there, I worked for about 2 years with a company that was going around and looking at Bethlehem's operation to try to make it more efficient. And that's something I would have liked to have done more of during my career if I'd had the chance.
Did you have to wear a certain uniform?
Yes, basically you had to wear long sleeves and you had to wear a hard hat. Everybody wore a hard hat regardless of where they were, anytime you were outside. And the hard hats were color-coded, depending on what department you were in and what your job was. Since I was a supervisor, my hat was white. And the people at the lube shop, for example, that worked for me, their hat was light blue on the top with a dark blue band. But everybody wore hard hats. And you wore long sleeves because around the hot furnaces, you could get burn actually from the radiation from the furnaces. And of course you had to wear safety shoes, steel-toed safety shoes at all times.
Were the green and yellow tubes associated with Bethlehem Steel?
Green and yellow tubes?
That go through like the peninsula?
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
I think she's talking about the air tubes at the end of the Peninsula Expressway. Those green and yellow ones that are above the roadway.
No, I don't think so, no. I think they were put in there later.
Did you have to work there year-round?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you have days off, like vacation days?
Oh yeah, we had very generous vacation time. We started out with 4 weeks, and then graduated into 6 weeks vacation. And you normally worked a 5-day week. But a lot of people who worked there had to work term shifts, which meant they worked around the clock. They could have worked daylight term, started at 7 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 3 to 11 shift was 3 to 11, as the name implies. And then midnight shift was 11 to 7 in the morning. And a lot of people worked a combination of that. They'd work 1 week of daylight shift, then a week of 11 to 7 and 3 to 11 combination, and then a week of 3 to 11, and over the month it would change to all 3 shifts.
Did you enjoy your coworkers?
Oh yes, I made a lot of friends there, and in fact for years after I retired, we had a reunion party every year, and the people came back, and it was good to see everybody and see old friends again. And a lot of people came back to it, and we had to give it up because the Union Hall actually closed down. That's where we had the reunion party. And anybody that retired from there in the department, we would have a retirement party for them too. Usually at the Union Hall or else at one of the restaurants around the neighborhood.
Breathing in all the chemicals, did it affect your body?
Well, they could. That's one of the things you had to be aware of around there. And every morning we had a safety meeting with the people and reminded them of the various hazards and made sure they had their safety equipment properly, and if they went to a particular area like the coke ovens, where you were exposed to coke oven gas and various chemicals and plus heat, that you had to make sure they were dressed properly and had, some people wore dust masks in various areas to keep from breathing that. And there's different hazards in different places. Most of the problem with acid was over the tin mill. That's where they used the acid. But the acid was contained in baths, but they heated it up, so it went in the atmosphere. You didn't get too close to it because you couldn't stand the smell. So people stayed away from it.
Finally, is there anything else that you would like to say that I didn't ask?
Well, like I say, I enjoyed working there. I enjoyed the people, made a lot of friends there. And I'm not sure other places have the camaraderie that we had, with people getting along with one another and staying friends with each other even after they stopped working. But seemed to be, working in an atmosphere like that where there was danger, and people did get killed and did get injured there from time to time. It seemed to bring you closer together, kind of like people in the Army you would be, having buddies in the Army. So I'm not sure other places would have that sort of relationship with each other. But I enjoyed it, and like I say, I still look forward to seeing the guys and getting together now and then, and having our reunion parties.
Did you live in the Squares Point Milltown?
No, I never lived down there. I lived in Dundalk when I first started, and then after I got married, we lived out in Kingsville.
Anything else you'd like to ask? Thank you very much for coming in
You're
today.
quite welcome.
That's great.